We're going to call this meeting to order. Miss Tammy, if we can do a roll call, please.
Present. Here.
Here.
I know you're calling roll, but I can't hear whoever's speaking.
Ms. Good?
I'm here.
And then because we do have one on Zoom, we'll have to do roll calls for everything.
Right. Being as everybody's here, we'll do the invocation, the pledge, and the official salute to the state flag. If you could please join us. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with humble hearts and are very grateful for the opportunity to serve our community. We ask for your guidance and wisdom as we discuss matters that affect the lives of those we represent. Grant us clarity, help us to listen with open minds, and may we work together in unity for the common good. Bless our community with peace, safety, and prosperity. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag, the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendships among united cultures. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for June 1st. I will entertain a motion to approve the planning and zoning meeting minutes. Sorry. Before I do that, there is a correction that I saw.
Okay.
It was on page 3 under the discussion, comments, and questions. It has Terry Walsh. I believe that needs to be Carrie Walsh. Okay. Okay, that being said, I will entertain a motion to approve the planning and zoning meeting minutes for June 1st.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Cole and a second by Mr. Crandall. Can we go ahead and get a roll call?
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Ms. Good?
Yes.
Ms. Baca?
Yes. Being as I do not see anybody here that might be speaking on any of the agenda items, I'm going to skip the oath.
Is that we did have an applicant earlier on Zoom, but it appears she's dropped out. If she does pop back up, we can, before she speaks, we can re-swear her in.
Okay.
I am still here.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
We can swear in later, or we can do it now. It doesn't matter.
Well, okay, we'll go ahead, Ms. Tammy, if you can go ahead and swear in. Okay, Brandy.
If you please raise your right hand
Yes,
and state your name, please.
Brandy Glenn.
Do you swear or affirm that you will testify truthfully here under penalty of law?
Correct, I do.
Thank you.
The new business is for a public hearing for resolution PC number 2025-2026-22. It's a resolution providing for a variance at the address of 1520 South Avenue D Place for the purpose of placing a carport that would not meet Portales Municipal Code submitted by Brandy Glenn. Ms. Kelly, can you give us a briefing?
All right, perfect. If we'll go to the first slide. So, good evening, commission. This is a carport.
Do we open?
I'm gonna have to
Oh, I just went right
object
into
to
it.
myself because I
We didn't-
didn't go into public
Yeah,
hearing.
we just went right into it.
Yep. I will entertain a motion to enter into public hearing.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Cole and a second by Mr. Crandall. Can we get a roll call, please?
Ms. Baca?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
We are now in public hearing. Ms. Kelly.
Thank you. Good evening, commission. This is an application for a variance for a carport located at 1520 South Avenue D Place. For those who it might just be, for those who have been sitting on this board, this application was approved, recommended for approval by P and Z over 6 months ago and then denied at city council. So if you would like to reapply, you can after 6 months. It's treated as a brand new application. And so that is what we are looking at today. We have the property up with a rough area of where that carport will be. The variance is the carport will be larger than the 650 we allow in the front or side yards. So here is just the relevant ordinance. This is the out of the newer carport ordinance, which allows 300 to 650 square feet in the front yard. Anything else is not allowed, hence the variance. That is the only part of that is not code though. That is the only thing she's seeking today. This. So we sent finding of facts. We had this published. You're supposed to for public hearings. Nothing exciting came back. No one responded. 10 certified land use property owners, 6 certified public utilities, no responses. It's this. So we're gonna do this just a little bit differently since we're looking to train this position again. I've been watching planning and zoning meetings to see how they kind of do it. I like how they handle their variances. So therefore, I'm gonna kind of move forward with this. So requirements for a variance, the city has 3 variance requirements. A, that there be an exceptional or extraordinary circumstance or condition applicable to the property. 2, that the variance is necessary for the preservation and enjoyment of a substantial property right possessed by other property in the same vicinity and zone and denied the property in question. And C, the granting of such variance will not be materially detrimental to the public welfare and interest to the property or improvements in the vicinity. If the commission decides to recommend for approval, staff recommends the following conditions: all governmental permits be acquired before building permits, your zoning verification form, and the carport shall not be enclosed. If you do move forward, that's the recommended motion. It just lays out, because now we're adding conditions and that just puts it out for the record very well, that we recognize that they do meet what is required for variance, and you can include our staff conditions. You do not have to include the staff conditions. You can do more conditions. Conditions just have to be covered by the ordinance. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those. If not, I will pass on to Ms. Brandy if you have any questions for her. Do you have any questions?
Why did it get denied at city council again?
So city council, and this was 6 months ago, so I'm paraphrasing here, they felt that they had held these off while they did the new ordinance. They had just passed a new ordinance, and they felt that if it didn't fall into ordinance, then it should just go ahead and be denied. I can say I think there was 4 carports that were held, and this was the only one who was attempting to get the permits done for the construction.
And the carport fits within every other variance other than have the size of it?
Correct. So
And-
setbacks are fine, just it is too large.
Yeah, and it isn't enclosed at all.
No, so we don't allow the enclosure,
Yeah.
but when we do have large carports, they seem down the line to suddenly turn into little garages. So we did add that as a condition.
Okay.
What is that carport going to be made of?
So I'll pass it off to Brandy, but per the ordinance, it has to be made of non-combustible material. It does have to be tied down.
So it is American Armstrong Buildings that's going to be putting it up, and it will be tied down with mobile home tie downs that are up to 120 miles per hour winds. So it'll be all metal, aluminum metal, and then the sheet metal for the top. But I do have a commentation on that photo, the first one that you sent in, or the first one that's presented. That is not the location of which I'm having the carport put. It's a lot closer to the street than what I'm putting it. There is another object in the picture, and that's closer to where it's going to be put.
And that's why I did say it was just a general area. The setbacks are all matched. It's just showing it's that front area.
So the setbacks, even though the picture's different, just so I
Yes.
get this clear.
The setbacks are all met.
Okay. We have any other questions or comments? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. at this time?
So moved.
Second,
I have a motion by Mr. Cole, a second by Mr. Crandall. Can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Crandall,
yes.
Ms. Baca,
Yes.
Ms. Good,
Yes.
We are now out of public hearing. I will entertain a motion to approve or deny PC number 2025-2026-22.
I move to approve.
Second,
Okay, I have, so before we vote on this, I just need to make sure that on the approval, we are to be entering the staff's recommendations
Correct.
on top of. So
Yes, it
do
would
we
be
need,
say in the motion,
we do need to say that in the motion?
just the very last one. Right there.
So does Ms. Good need to go ahead and add that into her
If she would
approval?
like the two criteria to be, she would need to redo her motion, yes.
Okay, Ms. Good, would you like to rephrase your motion to add the
Sure.
recommendations from the staff, please?
Yes, I approve the application for the carport with the understanding that the staff recommendations be added to the paperwork.
Do I have a second?
a second.
I have a motion from Ms. Good with the additions from the staff and a second from Mr. Crandall. Can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Good,
Yes.
Ms. Baca,
Yes.
Mr. Crandall,
Yes,
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
It has been approved and this will go to the city council.
It will not be going Tuesday. We will attempt to take it to the last meeting in July.
Okay. Our next item on our agenda is a recommendation for the transfer station location.
Thank you, Commission. So we brought you some possible locations last time. So what we are trying to do, this is recommending that we seek a special use permit at this location. What we don't want to do is do a bunch of special use permits because they're expensive and they're time consuming. Until we've kind of, as a city, narrowed down an idea of where we'd like to do it. So your recommendation today is not lock this in. If council accepts the recommendation, it does not lock it in. It's just saying, as a city, we like that idea. We will continue with the special use permit where we allow the public hearing, so there is public input. We just didn't want to do 6 different public hearings to narrow it down. We're narrowing it down now. So staff got together. Staff recommendation for the transfer station is on this little indicated area, and Ms. Joe's here to answer more questions. The access road is one of the reasons we like it. It is in an industrial area and it is already city owned. One of the downsides to it is that 2-3 years ago, we went to rezone this. And we, as a commission and as a council, we decided to leave that as an R1. So it is zoned single family. So the special use permit would still be needed no matter what. Special use permit is specific to a transfer station. So if you guys approve a transfer station here, when we do the special use permit, that doesn't mean we can put an actual landfill there or do other things of that nature. It's very specific to what we'd be asking. So that is the only downside to that area. Ms. Christopher, go to the next one. Staff recommendation number 2 is this area here. It doesn't have quite as good access. It is a little further out of town, but that's US 70. This is also city owned. Ms. Chris Boston. And then staff recommendation number 3, it's very near number 2. Again, just a little further out for the trash trucks we drive in. So we're here for your official recommendation of which one we should take to council, get their recommendation, officially start the process.
Just to clarify on recommendation 1, that is considered the boneyard, correct?
Correct.
Me personally, I would recommend this one. And it is because it's already being utilized by the city for the items, the dumpsters are already there and stuff like that, that we've already taken off from the community that are no longer any good. And not only that, but a little above is the building for the city already, correct?
Yes. You can see there's the holding ponds, and at the very top is where you have we consider the industrial yard, where the city stored all of its equipment and all of its materials. And then we do like that area because it is very industrial. You have the concrete down there, and you have DFA trucking. You do have some housing, but they were built after the industrial area was there.
And I do believe the residence to one of the sites is more like a vehicle.
There is a
Like
lot of
an area?
inoperable vehicles stored on a property neighboring us. Okay.
And how many acres is number one? Approximately.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Ms. Joe on that. It's a huge piece of lot, but I don't know how much that little area is.
Do you know the dimensions at least?
I would have to find that out for you.
Okay.
But it is
And
big
this
enough.
is a property that's out by the industrial park, right? Out by the DFA.
Yeah, so DFA is in that bottom right corner. And then you can see it's like a holding pond, you have your walking trail, your softball complex, but it's far enough off of that, that's such a big piece of land that it shouldn't interfere with any of that recreational stuff. And we do use it for storage of materials now. This would probably even clean it up because that storage of materials would go inside.
Mhm.
Or if we do an open plan, it'd at least be organized. Yes.
And does the permit ever expire or?
So no, unless a condition was put on there to relook at it,
Mhm.
but if the city puts a lot of money opening something there, we probably wouldn't want it to expire. But conditions can be put on that needs to be kept clean. Conditions that need to be well maintained, that type of stuff. But fingers crossed, it would be a permanent addition there.
And is it possible that we could just rezone it instead of asking for a special permit, or is the special permit just so that we can keep it as what this project is intended for?
So no matter what, you have to do a special use permit.
Okay,
No matter what its zoning is. However, you can rezone it. I find that commissions, councils, and residents are usually more comfortable with special uses. Because let's say we wanted to open a landfill there,
Mhm.
under special use permit, I cannot. But we rezone it, I can do anything I want because it's a heavy manufacturing zone. We
Mhm.
don't have to come back for more permissions to do stuff with that land. But we are comfortable with either one.
I believe at the time that there was rezoning in that, there was a bunch of neighbors that did not want that rezoned.
Correct. But we were rezoning the whole.
Right,
The whole parcel.
right.
Oh, okay.
Not just that one little section. But yes, Mrs. Warren is correct. We did attempt to rezone a couple years ago and the public was in opposition to it.
Yes.
So my concern is earlier you said it should not impede on the recreational area. What do you mean should not? I mean, it's either going to possibly impede or it's not going to impede.
I don't foresee it messing with it at all. I'm just always uncomfortable saying 100%, but 99.9% sure that it's not going to impede on those recreations. It's very far, and those transfer stations, they're not dumps, they're very clean and they're well ran. But as I said, just.
And where will the trucks go in and out of? Will they bother traffic going in and out of the fields or the walking site?
I would assume, correct me if I'm wrong, that we would be utilizing South Roosevelt Road 6 to enter and exit on there, but that would be part of the site plan and more detailed plans. This is just for the location. So we don't have any of those plans quite ready yet.
Because I would think that could then impede the recreational area based on traffic flow.
Oh, definitely. And the only, there is a dirt road access that you can kind of see. But for our big trucks like that, trash trucks, they're not the most agile creatures. We don't want them to go four-wheeling, so more than likely they would be coming off South Roosevelt Road 6.
And that road is also meant for that kind of traffic.
Yes, and it does have the trucking, the concrete.
Mhm.
We even drive the city trucks up down there already.
I mean, I can still see that dirt road in the back being used for possible emergencies, if anything needed to happen.
Oh, yeah, and I said, we do use it, but so far it's used by passenger vehicles.
Mhm.
Well, and the industrial drive is usually where the high traffic is to the walking area as well as to the softball complex.
Correct. And we don't foresee by any means going up, meeting that area. I don't know if you've seen Pat, he's very proud of his new trash trucks. And I bet there'll be bans from any off-road driving.
Does anybody else have any recommendations for the other properties that Miss Kelly had pointed out?
I'll be honest, I think you made a good point about recommendation number one, being the boneyard already. Although I feel like the one across the street from it, which is the much larger property, correct? Yeah, I feel like that would give more room in case we needed to expand. It would probably help expand, expansion be an easier process.
Do we need to go ahead and make a motion as to which property?
So I'm gonna bring your guys' recommendation to city council before we start the special use permit, so.
Okay. So I will entertain a motion to approve one of these lots.
I would say motion to approve, number one.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion for the approval of recommendation number one from Mr. Crandall and a second by Mr. Cole. Ms. Tammy, can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Crandall,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes,
Ms. Good.
Yes.
it passes. The next item is the recommendation for inspection fee ordinance.
Right. This is will go one more. So the city, when I say city, myself has made a draft. It is roughly called the inspection fee ordinance, workshopping that title. But we want to put it in front of you guys before we really go too far. So what it is not a punitive fee. It is not fines. The city is looking to recoup the cost it spends on constantly inspecting properties that will not come to compliance. So a good example of this is if we have a property that's not compliant currently, we attempt to cite them. And if, let's say, the property owner lives in California, then we have to clean it up. And if we don't have the funds to clean it up, those are our two options. Nothing gets done with the property. So what the inspection ordinance would allow us to do is continually monitor those properties, but it's not wasting manpower by doing something that's never going to get clean. We are actually getting reimbursed for the time that the staff spends constantly rechecking those properties, and we can bill the owner for the constant rechecks. The good important parts about it is I put them on here, not civil penalties, not fines, just reimbursement. We can't charge $300 per inspection because it doesn't cost us $300 to inspect it. So we're only charging $50 per reinspection for privately owned property, and then $65 for commercially owned. And then we did put an appeal process in there because I really believe in the appeal processes. Someone can come to P&Z to appeal the fines. The reimbursement saying, hey, it was COVID times, we got caught in China. There was no way we could do this. You guys can make that if it's morally right and in good faith efforts. You can waive those. You'll go to this next one. So we did want to show you how the visual inspection process would work because there is an incentive for compliance. So our first inspection, we go by, we see weeds, we give you a door tag or a postcard. That is free. We wait till your time, we go recheck it, notice it hasn't been done, that's free. We send you a certified letter. After the certified letter has been, its time's out, we go check it for a third time. If you have cleaned it up, there's no cost. All three inspections are free. That's just part of the city getting things clean. If we go for that third inspection and it's not been corrected, the fees start and we can charge retroactively for inspection 1 and 2, and then we continue inspecting. The fees include a monthly certified letter. So every month we resend a certified letter saying, hey, it's still not compliance. Your fees are accruing. Please come into compliance. And then charges continue until they are corrected. Once, yes, possibly. So we did an average cost breakdown of what it costs the city to do an inspection. So code enforcement's time, P and Z's time, because P and Z does a lot of their administrative stuff. The certified letters are now over $10 a piece. The vehicle use, the post office use, Maintain X, that is the work. It's how we keep track of our cases. And it's a program we have to spend quite a bit of money on. Vehicle insurance, postcards, door tags, the paper for the certified letters, the equipment depreciation, and the business license staff support, because Ms. Tammy also has to look up the business license violations. It goes up. So that brings you an average total cost of what each inspection costs, commercial and for residential. And so we're not sold on these. Your recommendation can be, we hate it, don't even want to look at it. Your recommendation can be a working group if you like it, but you'd like to tweak it. Or your recommendation can be take it to council and see what they say. So we're putting in front of you with pretty much those three options to see what you guys like to do. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
How long was their inspections? Is it for infinity or?
So no.
Is there a set?
So the city has an internal policy that you have a year to pay these. So after a while, these will become liens because you owe the city that money, and then it gives a year time. If you have not paid it, then the city will move forward on collecting its money back. So on properties that are abandoned, I don't want to say this is another act, because I don't want to take people's property. But if the houses that have been here 25 years, no one's done anything, if they do not bring them into compliance, these liens can accrue to the point that the city will foreclose on the house. The request support foreclose on the house to be sold or demoed or whatever needs to be done with the property.
Ms. McClellan, I have a question for you if I could. So the first time that you have to send out a certified letter and you have city employees go out there, and the second time, and then it comes into compliance, you still have expenses, and those expenses won't be recovered, correct?
Correct. Your first three inspections are free if you're compliant.
Except for to the city, they're not free.
City, no. The
Okay.
city still spends $53.99 about, so the city's still $150 out, but it's a perk of compliance.
And
You're
your
not charged for it.
your overall goal is to not make money on this, but to just not lose money, to recoup money. Okay.
So, these have been looked at, in like lawsuits and stuff like that, and the city cannot make money off these. The city can reimburse for reasonable fees.
Mr. Cron. So all of this comes from general funds. General funds are taxes. This is your property tax and other taxes in the city. So the general funds cover, the taxpayer covers the first look. But when somebody's going back at this a second, a third, and a fourth time, they're abusing the taxpayer's money. So everybody gets a first crack with the taxpayer money, including the taxpayer themselves. But after that, that abuse needs to stop, and nothing's for free. By law, we're not allowed to give anything away for free. So it's in City Manager 101 budget. Cover your bases in general funds with taxes one time, and then we'll cover the equivalent break even after that. So this is and it's a recommended city manager budget 101. I'm kind of making that up, but city manager managing the budget. It's absolutely when it comes to managing your general fund, keep them going upside down. The organization should be looking strongly at fees associated with these types of things long before we look at tax hikes and everything else. Because when the general fund portion of our budget, which is a little over $11 million, gets out of whack, which it is a little bit, and we go to the well, we're literally asking citizens to pay for people's inspection, reinspection, et cetera, and those certified letters. That's what we're doing. That's why these types of associated fees are so one, responsible, but two, important, but not let that general fund get out of that. That's what we're doing.
So to your point, what are we doing about the habitual offenders?
So right now, if we can't cite them and I don't have the money to clean, we just drive by every couple weeks, say, yep, still in bad shape, and there's no other avenues. And as I said, this isn't gonna clean it up right away, but at least there's progress being made. Because in 2 years, If they absolutely refuse to clean, the city can start seeking that forced reimbursement back.
So let me rephrase my
Okay.
question. Whenever I'm talking habitual offenders, the ones that are getting the taxpayers to pay for the first and second, and then they go and they clean it, they don't have to pay the first two, then a couple months later,
I
they're
got
back
you.
on the list.
So currently, there's nothing to do with those. Because you have to, for the court, give them a reasonable time to clean. So we do the postcards and the door tags as a common courtesy. It's not in our ordinance, but they get 90% of what we tag cleaned up. So we're not able to do anything until after the certified letter, which is our third inspection. Because the court will back us and we gave them a reasonable time, and reasonable expectation to clean.
What is reasonable?
So I believe our door tags give them 5 to 7 days and our certified letters give them 2 weeks. And this is for your weeds and your mostly debris, your like demolition properties, they have different processes. And we can't put those on these, but this does take care of your, it's not habitual, but your ones that just never get cleaned.
Any other comments or questions?
Yes, how long does each inspection take?
So each
Roughly
inspection takes about 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes?
So the officer's
Okay.
gonna drive down there, he's got his tablet. Sits in front of the property, he takes his updated one and then he updates his case.
Okay,
And then he comes back and he tells the P and Z person, who then, if it's that time, does updates her cases and does the certified letters. So we try to include all staff time up there.
okay.
My
So
time's not included here because my time's pretty spotty on these, but
so there's no reason that we should do like a per hour, like minimum charge or something like that?
no, some cities do that, but they have much larger cities.
And much larger properties?
Much larger properties. So the average time is 15 to 20 minutes for us.
Okay.
That's on site.
I think part of my concern, and maybe I misunderstood, but if we're nailing down actual costs, is these costs are all fluid, right? I mean, postage goes up, it seems like every other month. We have all seen gas go up and down, back and forth, the cost of vehicles. We know that salaries go up, fringe benefits certainly go up, medical goes up every year, medical insurance. So, I mean, all these are fluid, and I don't see any of them really ever coming down from this. I really only see most of them going up in cost. So do we have a plan that, in 6 months, all of a sudden, if things go out of whack, that you're going to be back asking to up that cost again to the city council or whoever has to ultimately approve that?
And that is a fantastic question because we had that same concern. So in your guys' ordinance, it does give council the right to change these prices per resolution. So we don't have to redo the ordinance every single time we need to do a change. We can just take it to council, say, this is why we need to change the inspection fees based on these changes in costs, and council can approve them and they're immediately effective. So it still takes us a couple weeks to get it to council, but not the 45 to 60 days it takes to redo an ordinance every time.
I had a question for you, Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Could it be placed in that ordinance that reasonable inflation increases could be, like, in other words, the council approves at one time for the city to increase prices by a reasonable amount, so it doesn't have to go through council every time?
I believe that would be okay, and it's definitely something I can add in there and then put in front of legal. Saying, hey, average cost of inflation is this, the city will look to raise costs yearly, and if legal's fine with it, you don't have a problem with us with it.
Just keep balanced with inflation.
Yeah. And maybe we would say inflation rates as of this date, so we're not having staff look at inflation every day as they go to do it. Every 6 months, we'll look at inflation or something like that. Something can be easily added into language.
We've had things get buried and then we forget about addressing them. So that could make it automatic as per, city manager or department heads if they noticed it.
So this is a discussion line, budget build. Bring it forward in general fund, breakouts and this sort of losses, et cetera. We need to put that in the budget build. City actually set it up in the budget.
So at the moment, we're looking at a recommendation to approve, or we are looking at approving the possibility of having a workshop?
Yeah, it kind of depends on how you guys feel about it. So you have 3 recommendations, or you just hate it. Throw it away, never let it see the light of day. We can do a workshop. We do workshop for ordinances. I still some P and Z, I still some council members. We go through it, or if you guys like it, there's really not much you would like to change, then you can just make the approval for it to proceed to council, and then we do the public hearings, intent to adopt, all that fun stuff.
I think if someone had a great deal of problems with what we're looking at right now, somebody might propose, say, we need to work on this some more, so propose a workshop. If it looks good and malleable and workable the way it is right now, then the recommendation on the table would probably be move forward as is to city council for vote by council. I think that's where they are.
I don't think there should be much change.
I agree. But I tell you what, we'll just go ahead and I'll entertain a motion on the recommendation of inspection fee ordinance. Whoever would like to. And how we would like to.
Motion to approve?
As written?
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Crandall and a second by Mr. Cole. Can we please have a roll call, please?
Ms. Good,
Yes.
Ms. Baca,
Yes.
Mr. Crandall,
Yes.
Mr. Cole.
Yes.
It is approved. Sorry, I'm used to a lot of people being here. Next item is other business. Does the staff have any?
The only thing I have is noticed Miss Christie is no longer with the city, so we are posting for that position. So if you know of anybody who's interested, please send them our way.
Okay. Any of the commission board members have anything? With no further business before this commission, this meeting is adjourned.